Welcome to the Best of U.S. Investors, Two Regular Guys show. I am Trent, and this is Mark over here. And today we're going to get into support and resistance. And we're going to talk about this because we've had an incredible year this year. And it coming into the end of the year, we want to point out where the Mag 7, the indexes, are hitting resistance, as well as identifying opportunities on stocks that are on the support level. So let's get going. Hey,
Hello.
Mark,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Happy New
Interesting.
Year.
Yeah. So we got 2 weeks here. We're in tail end of Thursday today, day after Christmas. And, 2 weeks of the markets where you got a major holiday right in the middle of the week and you close early on Tuesday and you're closed on Wednesday for 2 weeks in a row. So, from a swing trading point of view, it's like, why bother for me? Okay. Because the process is broken. So the market is a machine. Okay, and the machine is designed to be running, for 5 days in a row. And so when you have this break, it's like turning, your manufacturing machine on and off. You've got to readjust everything, and and the volume's down, and the traders are away, and the liquidity's down. So you're not getting a real look at a market when you're looking at stocks. You're looking at the Mag Seven's gone up, which is probably window dressing. We talked about that. You got portfolio managers that need to move out of their bad stocks and put it into their good stocks. And so that's what we're seeing. And next week, is going to be with the New Year's holiday. It's going to be the same kind of situation as this week. And I'm just going to wait until the week after and get back into the crux of it. But the interesting thing is we still look and analyze the markets and analyze stocks to technical indicators. And last Sunday when I was going through it, I noticed something different because we did have, when the FOMC came out and they talked about, not raising interest rates as much next year, it tanked the market. We had a pretty good dump. And from that dump, we've been kind of, the markets have been running kind of at the top, kind of overbought, up by an upper resistance level. And a lot of the sectors of the S&P tanked down and now they're hitting support. So there might be some opportunities coming up. They're not there yet, but I'll show you some
Mhm.
charts later about that.
Yep.
But first thing I want to do is kind of go over what I mean by support and resistance. Um, so again, when markets are at all-time highs, we talked about resistance a lot because it kept hitting, and it takes normally a catalyst to get through really good resistance levels. And you can have a resistance level that's a moving average, like the 50 and the 200-day moving average, very good resistance or support level, depending on where price action is.
Mhm.
Also, programs like I use, Active Trader Pro from Fidelity, that's my platform of choice for trading and investing. So ATP uses proprietary algorithms and combination of technical indicators to identify intermediate support and resistance levels, which I have on my charts, which is in my trading guidelines. You can go if you're a member and read all through that. So this might involve analyzing historical price data, identifying areas where past price movements have stalled or reversed, and observing volume patterns and specific price points. And I've noticed that the intermediate support level and the intermediate resistance level on at least Active Trader Pro have been pretty spot on and good points to either try to get in or try to get out, as a swing trader. Um, so when we talk about resistance, because we've been up against resistance a lot, in ATP, the intermediate resistance level, it's a technical analysis tool, okay, that helps traders identify price levels where security might encounter significant selling pressure, potentially hindering further price appreciation. So I have a green line on my chart. I call it the green line of death. And when my price hits on a technical swing trade, that's when I get out. And sometimes it'll go higher. And there's other indicators. We have sell order resistance levels that can be above that, and you might see them go up above the intermediate resistance and come back down. You may see a breakthrough. Okay, and a breakthrough is when some catalyst happens. Uh, let's say the Fed comes out next week and says, "Oh, we were just joking. We're going to lower interest rates every single month next year." And then you'd see the markets probably break through. I don't know that for sure, but that would be a
Right.
catalyst to get them to break through resistance, and then it would recalculate that resistance level at some other point. Okay, so that's the way it works. So traders use they might use the intermediate resistance level as potential entry points for short positions, meaning you're selling, you're trying to get out, or for placing stop loss orders below that level, protect your profits. So when you're swing trading up, let's say the intermediate resistance level is at $20, you may put it at 19.95 and you hit it before it hits, and then it may go up and you say, oh, I missed it, and then it'll come back down. But that's what I use it for. And sometimes the price may briefly break through that resistance level. Again, like I said, and reversing back and leads to a false signal. And that happens a lot too. So on the opposite side, what we haven't talked about a lot because the markets have been going up, 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 is the intermediate support level. So in Active Trader Pro, the intermediate support level is a technical analysis tool that helps traders identify price levels where a security might find significant buying support as opposed to selling support, potentially preventing further price declines. So it's kind of a floor. Okay. So traders might use the intermediate support level as a potential entry point for long positions, buying the security, or for placing stop loss orders above that level to protect profits on short positions if you shorted it. So prices may sometimes briefly break below a support level before recovering, and that again leads to false signals. So identification of support and resistance levels can be subjective, and different traders may interpret them differently. But I just going to go through how I interpret them, how they're in my trading plan, and what I've been seeing, in the last couple of weeks that, maybe we're going to have a little bounce in some of these sectors, and this is not financial advice, or maybe not, and they haven't really shown us yet. So what we're going to do is go through a couple charts in a couple sectors, and these were put on our Sunday's watch list. Okay, I went through three sectors, and you can go back if you're a member on the Platinum platform, and you can go and see these charts. And these are the ones that I'm watching because if they do a turnaround, it may be lucrative for you as a swing trader. So let's get into it a little bit. Do you have anything you want to add before I get moving down the chart world?
No, I think something we were talking about earlier is money flow. And when you see support and resistance, there is the variable of money flow coming in, and this is where it can help identify when you have a big chunk of sell orders at a resistance level. That means money flow is about to exit. And whereas if there's a bunch of buy orders at a support level, that means money's coming into that stock, and they can really sort of hone in the focus of how you go about buying and selling, and more importantly, risk managing your positions. And I think, as you're about to
Absolutely.
point out, there's a lot of money flow moving around right now.
Yep.
So,
Let's
yeah.
go. We'll take a look. Here are some charts. And I'm going to start out with the XLK. And this is the technology sector. And this is heavily weighted with, the Mag 7. And you can see over time, and this is a daily chart, this is our intermediate resistance level. Okay. And momentum traders tend to not care about these, but you can see what happens with momentum traders. You end up going sideways a lot unless there's a catalyst to get it past there. In swing trading, again, swing trading, I would have used this here, come up here, got out at that level. You can see what happened. Okay, this is December 4th. Hit the level, 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 hit, and here we are today. Okay, this is Thursday morning at quarter to 11 at Central Time on the 26th of December. And again, so here's where we had our big dip when the FOMC, we started coming back up, got above the 9, but came right back up, and there's that resistance level. And also watch, the MACD is not back to where it should be in your other oscillators. But again, this is your intermediate resistance level on your technology sector. So again, we're going to talk about support, but I want you to understand resistance also. So let's just look into this a little bit. Let's look at Meta. So here's your intermediate resistance level, the green line. And then right above it is another level. And another thing we use, it's a sell order resistance level. This is where you see the program will go out and calculate where the sell orders are. And you can see it's right above intermediate resistance. And in this case, Meta was flying right along that intermediate resistance level, came up, couldn't quite make it. You see the curve over the 9, which is another level of support at one point. It dropped down, and now we're below the 9. You see a lot of this when the 9 comes up and touches the intermediate resistance level, and this doesn't recalculate. A lot of times you see your stocks coming back down. And so now we're still having trouble to get past that 9-day moving average. And again, the MACD doesn't look good. So here's another indication, for me, from a technical standpoint, uh, right now, Meta is not the place to be for me. Let's look at Google. Again, these are live charts. Again, here's Google hitting our intermediate resistance level. Okay, we started about December 11th on this, and Google had some good news, came up, hit, 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 and here we are hitting it again. And again, will it get past there? I don't know. We're looking at a 9 kind of flatten out. Will that 9 come up, curve off? Will it go through? What's going to be the catalyst to get us past? So again, resistance, something that I use. If you would have gotten in on a swing trade, you would have gotten in right about here. Okay, that would have been 173.02 and popped out here when it hit that intermediate resistance level at 198.15. Not a bad trade on that one. Again, we're
Mark,
talking resistance. Go ahead.
Mark, this is an interesting chart because if you incorporate, also look at the different indicators that you have here. Your Bollinger Band narrowed
Yeah,
and showed, a narrowing, whereas it came down and hit the bottom of the Bollinger Band down here on the left side, my left side,
yeah,
and moved sideways for a little bit, broke through that 9 and the 20, and that was the perfect setup. And then boom, took off, hit the top of the outside the Bollinger Band, pulled back a little, found support, and then moved higher. And now you're in that resistance level. So
yeah,
when you're looking at these charts, take into account your other indicators like Bollinger Bands. When they narrow like that, there's something going on. There's something going on. There's something heating up, and it can help create great entry opportunities as well as exit opportunities.
yep, exactly. Let's look at a few more. Let's look at the mags. Okay, and this is an ETF that does the mag sevens. And you can see, there's a lot of excitement about the mags, and you can see here would have been a good swing right in this area up until you hit the intermediate support level, and boom, 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 boom. Here we are today, hitting it again. Okay, so when we think about the markets, you know, making new highs every day, go back and look at the charts and see what they're actually doing. Here's where the
Hmm.
FOMC, here's where we got a lot of, again, this is the holiday week. We got a lot of window dressing. These funds are going in and buying the hot stocks, which are the mags. But again, we're not getting anything past the resistance level here. I had a, we had a, uh, one of our members today said, well, why aren't you in Reddit? Okay. And the reason I wouldn't be in Reddit is because, again, here's an intermediate resistance level, hit it there, hit it twice here. Okay, hit it again, even though we're seeing some movement up on the nines, it's just not getting past that level. And then I look down here and the MACD is below the signal line. So again, sideways movement. Why would I get into a stock when my trading plan says there's too much up here? You got a resistance level here, you got a resistance level at the upper Bollinger Band, and you got sell orders right here. This is not where I'd want to get in, as a swing trader. I want to get in back in this area and ride this up. I don't want to get in at the top. I want more opportunity as a swing trader to get, the value out of this stock. And this one could go up, but again, like you said, we are seeing the Bollinger Bands narrow, which usually means consolidation in a sideways manner. I don't see a catalyst to make this go up at this moment. Not with this week or next week and the volumes that we're having on trading. Um, so, again, this is why I told him this, my trading plan tells me when to stay in and when to stay out. And this is not a place that my trading plan tells me to get in. So I don't. I follow my trading plan. It is the technical analysis uh, guide that I use to trade. And you don't have to use mine. You can have your own, but this is the way that I trade. And this is just risk reward right here. There's not much reward, but there's more risk that I see in a chart like this. So let's go over and talk a little bit more about some of the charts like today I was watching and I put out on our list. Berkshire B. Okay, I'm looking at Berkshire. Here's Berkshire. Drop down. And again, this one doesn't have a resistance or support showing. It just has our basic moving averages. But you can see we dropped under the 9-day moving average. This was on the 3rd of December, and we've been riding it under. I've been watching this. And last Tuesday, Christmas Eve, it popped up. And again, Christmas Eve was a half day. And you see today we're about even. But I'm watching here to see if the MACD crosses for confirmation. And if that does, this to me would be a fairly decent swing trade. You're going to have resistance at the 20 and the 50, and you have some room to go before you would catch the Bollinger Band. But again, it's a potential. It's not something that I got all green lights on my trading plan. But what I'm looking for is just drop down and move back up. GE was the same. We had this on this morning. You're seeing GE do the same thing. GE had this drop, came down. Look at this, hit support at the 200 and then dropped below. And this was again the FOMC. This was the catalyst that broke us through the 200 day SMA uh, support level. But then it came back up. Markets came, popped back up. We're seeing a turn back. We're going to see a cross here, the 9 over the 200. Again, we're seeing an upward trend. This is what I'm looking for swing trades right here was your crossover and confirmation, which was last Tuesday. And so that's why it went on the list. We have some sells up here. Again, a sell order resistance level, got a 50. And here's where our intermediate resistance level is. But what I want to show you is it came right down, hit our support level, catalysted down, came back up, okay, opened at the support level, closed above it, hit it again the next day, closed above the 200. So again, this level of support is just as strong as this level of resistance. So this is a good chart. This is one that we had on the watch list this morning.
Good looking.
So last week we were talking, and as I'm going through segments and charts, I noticed, and I brought this up to Trent's attention, uh, certain segments I'm seeing have gone through that same downward trend. And here's our support level. And you can see it's come down and it's gone sideways across this support level. This is the XLE. This is the energy sector. Okay. Energy stocks are very volatile. Okay. We're still under the 9. We're still under, here's where the sell orders are. But here's your resistance up here at 90.27. We're currently 84.60, 84.64. Mm-hmm. Again, we don't have a crossover. We don't have a crossover of the MACD. We're still watching, the oscillators. But this is something that potentially might be turning around. It's still sideways now, hasn't got above the 9, but it's something I'd be looking at. It is trading under the 200 and the 50, so you got to be more careful if you decide to get into something like this. And it's very volatile. It's energy. But if you dig into these energy stocks, let's go to Chevron. You're seeing the same patterns. Look at this drop. Okay, hits the support level. This was the FOMC, came down, hit below it, and then came back up, and we're bouncing up. We're starting to see the oscillators roll. Something else, if you want to go into a Chevron, would this be the time? No, but it's certainly on my watch list. And again, it's under the 200, it's under the 50. So again, this would go on at some point, maybe our under the 200 level watch list that we put out weekly, but it's not there. But this is what I'm looking for, is this swing down. If you're buying at the top, your chances are you're not going to have much room to grow. If you're getting down here at the support level, you've got quite a bit of room to grow back up to your next huge level of resistance. Sticking in the energy, we'll look at Schlumberger. These were all on our charts on Sunday. Okay, again, we've come down and we've hit this level of support, the intermediate support level. We're starting to see the Bollinger's curve around. We're not past the 9 yet. Here's some sell orders. Lots of room on the upside. If we were up here, look what happened up here on resistance. Okay, we just couldn't get past it. We're under the 200, but that's how solid these resistances are. Okay, and can they get past them? Absolutely. Do they? I'd say 90% of the time they do not. That's my opinion. Then we just dropped, the market dropped, and look what happened. We came right here at the intermediate support level. So this is something else on my list to watch. Okay, this is how I find these. And then if it pops up, starts hitting my oscillators with confirmation, then we start moving back up. And again, you have a lot more room to make money going up here than if you're a momentum trader buying here and trying to get past this level of resistance. You're going to be frustrated, I think, and you're not going to get the yield that you're going to get if you can catch one down at this level. And we'll look at ConocoPhillips. Same thing. This one came down. It's underneath. but came back up, and now we're seeing almost above the nine again, above the 250 or below the 250. We're seeing some oscillators that are starting to roll a little bit. So another one to put on a watch list, see if it goes. You got some room to run. You got some resistance, and you always have to be aware of that. But again, this was trading up here along resistance, and it actually went up, couldn't get past the 200, which is another high level resistance, and then dropped. Okay, now we're down at the bottom. Okay, can it still go down? Absolutely. Does it look like it's going to? Well, the indicators aren't telling me that right now. It looks like it's indecisive. We'll see. And one more in the energy sector, smaller one, Murphy oil. It'll come up. Maybe not. Going through Christmas blues. Oh, here we go. All right. Don't know why that's way over there. Let's go. What happened here on this chart? All right. We'll skip Murphy oil because I don't know why my chart is doing that. XLV. So let's go into another sector of the S&P and healthcare. Healthcare has got nailed. Again, look at healthcare. Here's our intermediate resistance level, which we said can go up above it, but it sometimes it's false. And what happened here? We hit the 200-day moving average. Hit it here, went down, hit it here. That's a tough level to get by, just like the intermediate. We dropped down all the way down to where? Okay, a little bit below the support level,
Support.
and now we're coming back up. We're seeing right here the MACD coming back up, the stochastics coming back up. We don't have as much momentum as we like, but again, we're sideways. So I'm looking at the healthcare sector. Say, okay, we got some room to move. Is it ready to go yet? Certainly not. It's below the 200, below the 50. More risky than if it was above. This is technically, in a bearish market as a technical chart goes. But let's go into the healthcare sector and see what we find here. UNH, the same chart. Okay, this one got above. Well, this actually has moved down. Okay, these will readjust. So the intermediate resistance level was up at this level. Okay, and then when it had this big drop down, it even went past the 200. I mean, it dropped through the 200, dropped all the way down. But where did it go? Intermediate support level stopped, and now we're actually above the nine. You're still below the 200. You're below the 20, and you got a sell order here. But you're looking at this. You're above the 9 day. We're seeing some positivity in the MACD. Again, these are what I'm looking for. These bounces to get back up. We'll see what happens. Would I be in it yet? Not yet. But again, these are what I watch. Let's look at J&J. Same thing. J&J came up, didn't even get to their intermediate resistance level because the 200 was too strong. Couldn't get past that. Dropped down, followed the Bollinger Band down, hit the support level, up and down above, but sideways. Again, this one's above the 9. Looks like it's turning a little bit. Got the MACD going. Got a sell order here. This is right at the 20. So that's where the sellers are, or they're going to sell out. But you got some ways to go if you get past that. So again, these are the charts I'm watching, down, sideways, and see if they pop back up. So there are opportunities out there. They're just not here yet. Here's Medtronic, you know, second verse, same as the first. This one came down, found some support at the 200, came back down, and then couldn't get, then it got dropped below the 200, and then support becomes resistance. And we dropped back down. Where did we drop to? Just below the intermediate support level, came back up, and now we're above the 9. We'll watch this one again, too. We're seeing a little bit of rolling on the oscillators. Again, there's a long way up to resistance, but you got a lot of resistance levels to go through. But again, these are what I want to look at, so I can gain this much uh, yield back. And I don't want to be trading along this line up here. There's just not as
You know,
much yield or potential as right here.
Mark, I'm sitting here looking at these charts and they all look the same, right?
They do. And
Support.
I mean, I got a lot of these. I mean, I do
Yeah.
have a lot of these. That's why I brought it up to you earlier this week. I said, wow, we could be at the bottom in some of these sectors because
Yeah.
money flows to different sectors.
So let's put our mind our thinking in the house of a hedge fund or an institutional investor. So they've got a couple $1 billion they have to invest. Do you think that they would go, hey, there's more opportunity in MDT or Tesla. Okay. If my compensation is based on performance and growth and making my client money, where do you think he's going to start looking? Where is he going to see opportunity? And I'm curious, and maybe we can do this, go back a year and look at the chart on the Mag 7, in particular Tesla and Nvidia in particular, because it's up 180% year to date. Did we see this pattern formation a year ago where they were at the support level and now they've moved higher?
Well, you
And
got to
what and
remember
is
on the daily chart that level is going to be moving. So if I go back a year, the chart
but
the
the
support
price
level I
pattern,
see is calculated off the latest, so it won't show
right?
what it
But
was a year ago.
no, but what I'm looking considering is the price movement in the candlesticks.
So here's your year on
So,
Tesla.
okay, so that was a lot of sideways
Yeah,
up until
but
November.
it's a lot along the support level though. See,
Yeah, yeah.
and
So what about
let's go to mags and just see the whole.
the whole group?
Yeah. So see, this calculates differently because it's calculating to
Sure.
the latest data. So
From a
you can see where the
is the
support was, and then I would imagine it probably moved up from a level down here somewhere.
yeah,
But again, these are the stocks that are moving everything. Meta.
right. Very yeah. Not a lot, honestly, not a lot of just hovering that support level for the last
And
what
again,
up until September.
this will move over time. I mean, it's going to go up and down depending on the time base
Sure.
and how it calculates. But yeah,
Yeah. No, and that's going back to, you know,
yeah,
like
that was a year. Yeah.
okay, Medtronics or something like that. Or
So
here,
here's
Sigma. Is
this
this an
is Cigna.
opportunity?
Look at Cigna.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm like looking at this going again. I'm starting to see. We started the week back here when I put it on the chart, and we were under the nine. Now we're seeing the nine has come down, and look what the nine's doing. It's coming down, and let's see if it does this. Kind of like it does when it comes up and hits, comes up,
Hmm.
hits the resistance level, comes down,
Yeah.
hits the support level. You know,
Yeah.
again, not
But I look
financial
at this,
advice, but you're looking at patterns. You're using the technicals to say, okay, this may be something I want to put on my watch list.
yeah. And I'm thinking like I'm a trader for a hedge fund. I'm looking for opportunity. Is there more opportunity in Cigna or Nvidia? And from what I can see, Cigna could return me a pretty nice little pop maybe in the next 2 to 3 months. That'd be pretty nice. Whereas
Yeah, it
Nvidia
might pop.
may be
It
topped
might
out.
it may pop you a lot sooner than that because we're talking on a day chart or daily trade chart.
True.
Here's Striker.
True.
Look what happened here. Right along the resistance, 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 resistance. If you're a momentum trader and you think that's good, you got to sit and watch your computer all day. But then when you drop down, look, I would rather have bought it here and be here right now than bought it here and be here and here and here. Because
Right.
there's so much more room on the upside. But
It's
you
a
got to
different
wait and use all your oscillators. That's why it's different than momentum. You have oscillators that tell you, okay, I'm not confirmed here. This MACD is not confirmed. We went sideways for 2 days, and we're still below 50 on momentum. So the momentum's not there yet, but it's looking better than it did. Okay.
right.
Again, support. Humana. Again, there's Humana. These charts just look uncannily the same. You know.
Yeah. Well, and
Um,
I think that's the
and
objective
again,
here
yeah,
is to
and
make money.
I'm just looking at technicals. I don't even know what's going on fundamentally with any of these companies.
Right.
I mean, you
But
can dig in there.
technically they're showing support.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the news that's out on Humana today or last say 7 days is indicating on a chart point of view that there's support there. There is opportunity. There's nothing
That's what it looks
bad
like.
that would drive it lower
Yep.
as of today.
And I'm seeing the 9 day moving average kind of flattening. I'm seeing the lower Bollinger kind of flattening, meaning it's going to come down. I'm already seeing the top one come down. Okay.
Hmm.
Again, something I'd want to be in. I'm going to watch it. Doesn't have any confirmation from me. Let's look at GE Health as our last one. Here's GE Health. It came down. Here's your support level. Okay. Where was it playing along? It was playing along the 200 and then dropped down to the intermediate support resistance level. Look at that. Look how many times it hits. And then boom.
Yeah.
And then here was the FOMC meeting. Right down. Where did it drop to? Support. Support, it hits again. Support, it hits again. Then it hits the Bollinger Band. It moves above it. Again, remember, you only trade outside of a Bollinger Band 5% of the time on average. And here we are today. We're above the 9. Okay. Got a little bit of room to roll. Got a confirmation on the MACD. So again, but the thing about this week is, as we talked about earlier, this is not a normal process week. Okay, we don't have 5 days of full trading. We have a broken up market. Okay, volumes are lower. Different people are in. There's a lot of people not in the market. So again, I think of that when I'm technically trading, going, okay, we're not dealing in a fully functioning market that has rhythm right now. Not this week, not next week. Okay,
Yeah.
so take that into your thought process when you're looking at these. I'll do a few more, and then we'll break for the day. Here's the material sector. Look at this one. Okay, it actually used the 50-day moving average as a level of resistance. And again, this level here was probably up here. It got recalculated down as you see the price come down. Came down. Here's our support level. Didn't quite hit it. Came back over. Started to see some more of the oscillators. And this is the material sector. So we go into materials a little. Let's go to Nucor. It's always a big one in the materials. Here's Nucor. Look at this. Resistance, drop, support. 9's coming down. Hopefully we'll do that and we'll see what happens. Okay, no confirmation here or here, but these are the charts you look for. I'd rather have it down here and make this swing up here if I decide to do it than to be trading it right here,
Right.
and thinking it's going to go up because this line is solid. Two more.
Okay.
Let's look at Mindell. Oops, hold on. LYB. Sorry about that. I'll move it over a little
Interesting.
bit. Again, here we have drop down, drop down. It's hit 4 days, and now it's finally bouncing up. The 9 has come down. We'll see what happens. There's a long way up to the resistance level here at 95.43. We are currently at 74.59. But again,
Okay.
you got a lot of resistance to get through here. Got a Bollinger Band. You got a 50. Your chances are, if you see a rise in here, it's going to come up maybe, at the best case, up at the 81, 82 level, unless we start seeing these roll back around. So again,
Hmm.
another one you want to look at. And then I'll do one more. FMC. FMC. Again, FMC didn't quite make it to resistance at the intermediate resistance level, but it did hit it at the 200. Again, a strong level of resistance, and boom, down we went. And where did we go? Support level. So again, the reason for this this video is just to show you that I'm starting to see some trends. Okay, now have
Yeah.
they come back yet? Not yet, but these are on my list, and we'll watch them. We'll watch the charts within these sectors and see if we can't snag one or two. Maybe not next week, because again, next week the market is not functioning on 8 cylinders. It's functioning on 3 cylinders. And I don't like trading in broken up weeks. Okay, because it's like starting your factory machine up again, and I'd shut it down all week as opposed to starting my machines up and down and figuring all the gadgets and the
Hmm.
gears on it. But that's how I see it. But again, that's how we use charts on the Platinum channel to kind of guide us, and to see where the market's going, where money's flowing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, it's there's a strategy called the dogs of the Dow, and it's take the 30 Dow stocks, and then at the first of the year, you buy the bottom portion of the Dow. So the worst performing stocks. And over time, it's historically done fairly well. And I look at this from a sector standpoint. If you look at all the sector ETFs and you look at the ones who performed super well this year and the ones who performed the bottom side of it. And what I think you just showed us was stock sectors and stocks that haven't performed as well as the top half. And the question I have is, will we see a rotation of that bottom half upwards to the middle and top half of the best performing sectors next year? Very possibly could be because of some of the macro elements that are coming into play next year. You've got an administration who's very pro oil, pro drill, drill, drill. Could that be a big benefit to the energy industry? Probably so. What about healthcare? Are we going to see some benefits there? Materials, those kind of things. So I think it's interesting to me that when you step out and you look at the big picture and then start to narrow it down, you can identify some really potentially great opportunities.
Yep. I mean, you look at
This
these
XLB.
patterns, and you can see you double top if you want. You can see it, but basically this is the material sector, and
Hmm.
you can see what happened. It was above the 200. Let's say you were just trading long term and you were just using Paul Tudor Jones 200-day moving average. Okay, you would have been in still way back here. Okay, we went down and touched it here on February 5th. Let's just say you got in there. Okay, that was $80.98. And then you come out here and let's say you just got out, at the 200 when it dropped below $90.95. So you went up $10, just using the long term strategy and got out. And
Right.
now it's trading, at 85.62.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the long term. But again, these crazy lines mean things, and charts do follow patterns, and so we were pretty high up here on
Yeah.
materials, and then it just you know got a series of lower highs and lower lows, and then it just fell through.
It broke through.
Okay, and when did
Yeah.
it fall through? This was the 3rd of December. Okay,
So just recently.
yeah, and so you
Yeah.
see a lot of sectors have done that, but again, the energy, technology sector is still up, riding along the intermediate resistance level. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. But that's because we have 7 stocks that are moving it at this
Yeah.
moment.
And the question is, can those seven stocks continue this run?
Yeah.
We'll see.
And
Only time will
and will
tell.
those and will those support levels hold? Or are we gonna have a catalyst where they break through and it recalculates? So
Yeah.
it's gonna be an exciting, January. I'm going to be watching these for the next week and a half. I'm not going to do anything next week. Again, market's not running on all 8 cylinders for me. A lot of people still gone. The traders are gone. They're just, not a normal market. Volumes are
Yeah.
down, liquidity's down. So why risk your capital? And some people want to be in the market all the time and trade it all the time. You got ups, you got downs. It's up to your own
Yeah.
trading plan. As
That's
long as you
it.
have a trading plan, your opportunity for success is a lot higher than if you don't.
Amen to that.
Yep.
Well, Mark, I think that's a good wrap up for the year.
Yep.
Uh, we will be back next year, as weird as that sounds.
I
Feel
know.
like I feel like it is January, but year has flown by, and I think it really is some great opportunities for people to, my focus is let's beat monetary inflation. Let's beat 15% inflation rate. We do that, we can have the ability to create the memories and dreams that we have in mind for creating wealth, creating experiences with our families, and doing fun things. So, thank you, Mark, for a wonderful year. I've enjoyed it and every bit of it, and looking forward to next year and the new things we're going to come up with and fun video content we'll come up with in the future. In the
Yep.
meantime, have a great New Year's. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share it with a friend. Check us out at bestofusinvestors.com or bus13.ai check out our services. We do have a 14-day free trial on the Platinum as well as the Gold. And check out our free education material and information there. And always live loud. See ya.
Enjoy the
Peace.
holidays, guys.
See ya. Yep.
And cut.
Cut.